Hi, I'm Carmen Braun.
Hi, I'm Megan Colasanti, and Carmen and I co-own Mathletes and Bookworms Tutoring. We are a tutoring company for kids pre-K through 12th grade, and we also do educational consulting with schools.
We decided about the end of last year that we needed somebody else to take over the bookkeeping. I was doing it for the business, and it just became too cumbersome. So Allie and Jason happened to be a client that we were working with, and they happened to own a bookkeeping company. And so we decided it would be a really good partnership to reach out and start working with them.
We had done it for ourselves for 9 years, which is a really long time. But we've been fortunate enough to grow a ton, especially in the pandemic. And so with that growth then became, do we have the time and the know-how to do the bookkeeping? And the answer was no to both of those questions. So we needed experts.
I think what was most unexpected and appreciative about going with Sound Advice is that we were hoping that they would take over the bookkeeping, which they did, but then they also did a total uplift on everything. So we ended up, there was so many things that we didn't have in place that made sense to add, and it was just things that Megan and I were doing. We're teachers and we're educators, and so we had a system and it worked, and we were able to keep track of everything, but they ended up taking more off our plate than we anticipated. So not only is our bookkeeping taken care of, but then there was so much more that we gained from their expertise that was unexpected. And
I know we were a little hesitant because we've done everything very archaically for 9 years, but now that we've made that leap, it's been amazing to like see the ease of all of those things that they introduced us to, just beyond the bookkeeping.
And it also had to be like allow us to like let go of some of our power. Like it was nice to have it within our, like we knew everything. And so handing it over to a company means that we have to let go of some of the power, which is always a little bit scary, I think, is the biggest hesitancy.
Totally.
But once we did, we were like, why did we have we didn't need that power in the first place. Exactly. Like that's something that somebody else can take care of, and we can trust that it's done well. And that's been wonderful. Going with Sound Advice, there was like some connections and relationship they already had. So they gave us 2 companies to look at to do automatic payment for all of our tutors, and what was the cost of both and which would be more beneficial for our type of business. So Megan and I were able to sit down and talk to 2 different representatives, analyze the cost of which would be better. That also goes with billing, where all of our tutors put in their hours. We had Jason checked several platforms. In fact, we went with one. We thought it was going to work, and then we realized after a month it wasn't going to work, and he went and found another company that would work for us. So, and they have been, that's eBility, and that has been fabulous for us. Some of their other bookkeepers had availability. He connected one that would be our go-to, and we work with Kim Davis, who's out of Georgia, and that's the meeting we had just before this, and she's phenomenal. Like
she is really. She does things within like 5 seconds. You know, I think our business is different than many of the other ones that they do bookkeeping for, but that didn't mean that they were just going to say, this is what we do, these are the services that we use. Because I think they do use the QuickBooks timesheet, the T-sheets for most of their clients, but that didn't work for us. And that didn't mean that we still had to go with that. Like she was saying, Jason tirelessly found work to find something that was better for our needs, because we bill very differently than most businesses do. We bill for the month ahead. To have that, somebody who can take over an entire business, or not take over the business, but the bookkeeping side, and get things going and the invoicing for the next month seamlessly, and put in all the hours that took with no complaint, was pretty amazing. So, I would say even to somebody, if you need somebody that you need to start next week, they can handle it. It doesn't have to be a month, 2 months from now. That was a huge thing.
And I think the capacity of what we can do now as a tutoring business has expanded exponentially. Before, we were limited in how many clients we could take on, or what Megan that we had the capacity to bill and do, whereas now all we have to worry about is that we have the tutors and the time, and we can do that with ease.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that's the cool thing is whatever your business is, you can focus on that and they'll take over that other piece for you.
And growth can happen really easily now. They're a joy to work with. They've both been so amazing. Kim too. So obviously the people that they hire to work with them for us are great. So I was a little hesitant when Jason handed it over because you don't know then who that next person is. And we were just telling her, she's been a dream to work with. So they've worked hard on that aspect too, to make sure that it's not just them who's great, it's the other people who they have. They run their business how we run our business. So, for example, we had a family reach out to us that was looking for a Spanish tutor. And we're like, we don't have one, but we'll find one. Let's talk to our network of teachers and find out what we can do. And so Megan and I went on a search and found this amazing Spanish tutor to help this family. And it's been amazing. And I think Allie and Jason run their business that same way. To have somebody that has that same kind of work ethic that we do is really nice, because that's what you want. You want somebody that understands small business, that will go and work out for the client and do everything that they can. And that's what they do for us. And that's fabulous.